in Denver. There's something about the Raiders in Denver. Jamarcus Russell beat the Broncos in Denver.
Oh, okay.
In playoff contention. When they were in playoff contention, they beat them.
That occurred in Barack Obama's first year in office.
Week 5 NFL matchups, probably the best matchups we have this week. We're starting Ravens at the Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yeah.
2.5-point favorite is the Ravens going into Sunday's matchup, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Bengals in this one in an upset. And the reason is because I think the Ravens are a top 5 team. Absolutely. However, the Bengals just have certain teams' numbers. It's kind of like whenever you see Patrick Mahomes go up against Joe Burrow, for some reason Cincinnati, even though they shouldn't be in that game, they always seem to either win that game or just absolutely dominate. So I like this matchup. It's in Cincinnati. I'm taking Cincinnati here.
Yeah, I don't hate this, actually, Dirk. I mean, it's weird to, again, say the Ravens completely beat the brakes off the Bills.
Yeah.
Look like maybe the best team in football, and yet you're like, they might go to 2-3.
Yeah.
I think that Baltimore pulls it out because I love the power run game with Henry. I think they have that sort of grinding ability to win a tough game on the road. But this is on upset watch. I don't know why we didn't put this one onto the upset alert, but this one is a good pick for the upset alert. I don't hate it.
The upset alert was based off spread. So if you
fair
have,
enough.
and I want, so that's how we picked.
Fair enough.
All right, after that, Bills Texans. This might be the game of the week. You have a revenge play here. Diggs going to Texans.
Yeah.
Josh Allen traveling down to Houston. This one is going to be a high-powered showdown, Mike. I'm taking the Bills in this one, and hear me out on this. I don't think the Texans have a run game right now that is going to complement this game. Now, Texans fans are going to hate that I say this, but in the last 3 matchups, you have not seen the Texans put up very good points or very good yardage from the running game. I think you have Joe Mixon, who is nursing an ankle injury. Cam Akers did not show out very well, and Dameon Pierce, I mean, this guy's washed. So
can't pierce the line of scrimmage.
Oh, can't.
Yeah.
No, you have an offensive line that cannot stop false starting. It's bad. So I like the Bills in this matchup. I think this is going to be, I think take the over in this matchup.
Do the Bills have a defensive line that can stop them?
That's a great question, Mike.
Yeah.
So go on that one. And there's some news around that as well.
Yes. I mean, Von Miller is now suspended for 4 games. The Bills have their share of injuries on defense. I mean, this is a great quarterback matchup. Dirk Stroud and Allen. Allen, of course, had an amazing play against the Ravens, but it was one play basically. That was it. I don't know. I think it's a good bet that the Bills might bounce back here, but this is again one of those 50-50 toss-up games. Would not be shocked to see Houston win it and take a stranglehold on the South.
Yeah. The other thing you forgot to mention is that they will be out. The Bills will be without their defensive tackle as well, putting more pressure. Look, if the Texans can't run the ball in this game, they have huge issues going forward.
Yeah.
Huge issues. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. Watch out, the Jaguars are coming back in the South.
Also, Bills are a 1-point favorite in this game.
They are.
Cowboys at the Steelers. Steelers have a 2.5-point, or they're 2.5-point favorites in this one. I think the Steelers roll on this. I think unless Russell Wilson comes back. Now, so long as Justin Fields is the starting quarterback for the Steelers, I think the Steelers roll in this one. Russ is going to cook something awful and give everybody salmonella if he starts.
Dirk, I'm going to say this. The situation becomes weirder and Fields starts and struggles, which happens every several games. Dallas, in the spirit of Super Bowl 30, wins this matchup. And then all of a sudden people get real weird about who the quarterback should be in Pittsburgh. And it's just going to happen that way. Dallas is going to get one of those weird, sort of wins that balloons their stock all of a sudden. Everyone's like, oh, the Cowboys are back. They beat Pittsburgh. Well, maybe not. But
it pains me to say this.
Yeah.
I don't like the Steelers. However, I will say the storyline you just put out, great. Not based in reality, because Parsons is probably not going to be in this matchup. And without the presence of Parsons, I don't think Fields is going to have that rush or that presence that is going to force him to have a bad game. I think he'll have plenty of pocket presence. I think the Steelers line's underrated, and I also do think that you're going to see Najee Harris actually have a pretty good game. So that's going to alleviate a lot of those concerns. Now, if Russ is cooking, throw everything I set out.
I don't know. I still think you're a little high on Fields personally, but
These
we'll
dudes
see.
are like they're 3-1, Mike.
They are 3-1. It's a small sample size though. Seen this before.
Okay. Also, defense. How many points is that defense giving up?
It's a good defense, but every now and then, I'm just telling you, Dallas does this every year where they'll score 40 points against some random team, and here comes, God damn it, what's his name? And here comes Skip Bayless, and he's like, oh man, I'm bringing the jerseys back, and no, Dallas is not that good, but they're going to look good for 1 week.
Okay?
Yeah.
Final matchup, and this is our big matchup of the week. You have the Raiders
Raiders!
going into the Mile High City. Now,
Yeah.
Mike, in the last 4 years, the Raiders have beaten Denver in Mile High for the last 4 straight years. Can they make it a 5th? I think they do. Not only that, they're a 3-point underdog going into this matchup.
They are.
I think the Raiders, especially with everything going on, you're going to see them show out like they always do in Denver. There's something about the Raiders in Denver. Jamarcus Russell beat the Broncos in Denver.
Well, okay.
In playoff contention, when they were in playoff contention, they beat them.
That occurred in Barack Obama's first year in office.
There is something about the new Invesco or the new Mile High Stadium, whatever it's called now. The Raiders show out there. And then the Broncos go to the black hole, and they show out there. I swear,
There
it's
isn't
like
even a black hole anymore.
Might as well. Allegiant Stadium's kind of a black hole.
It's a place that exists.
But I have the Raiders in this matchup beating the Broncos at Mile High.
No, here's the thing. At one point in time, someone is going to try and test Patrick Surtain, and he's going to get an interception. It happens this week. He gets a pick 6. Gardner Minshew pays for the sins of his predecessors. The Broncos all over this one. I go Broncos by let's call it Broncos by 17.
Okay,
Broncos
I'm going to add something to this one.
Yeah.
I think if the Broncos defense can keep this one under 17 points, they have a legitimate shot at winning. But the Broncos offense hasn't scored over 17 points in how many games? Outside of the Bucs.
Outside of the Bucs, yeah. But I mean, you have a 4-game sample size with this quarterback. I don't, like I said, I'm not sold on Bo Nix yet, but he's good enough. The run game looked better. The Raiders turn it over like 4 times, and Denver wins pretty handily. That's the pick. There it is.
Unbelievable, Mike.